Welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. And today we're going to talk about investing in collectibles. And there's a bit of a cautionary tale. I know a lot of experts will tell you do not do it. And in general, I think I agree with them. And there's a number of reasons why. But Mr. Magazine recently went on a buy, and we're going to be showing you some of the stuff from the buy in the future. And the person actually kept a journal of all of the things that they bought. So they wrote down they went to such and such a toy store and they paid this for it. And everything they bought was at retail. So they went to Toys R Us or KB Toy and any of these other stores that aren't around anymore. And they purchased various things, and it was Star Wars stuff from the 1990s. And they kept track of it. And when all was said and done, they spent about $40,000 on Star Wars stuff. Just figures and toys and ships and all kinds of other things. And again, we ended up getting the collection, Mr. Magazine did, so we'll show it to you. And it's a lot of really, really neat stuff. But he paid retail on everything. And I'm sure there's a few things in there that did appreciate. Probably a few things appreciated quite heavily, but a lot of the stuff was just the common figures that you see out there, what we used to call peg warmers back in the day, those kind of things. And he spent $40,000, and I can tell you, Mr. Magazine did not pay him $40,000 for the collection. Mr. Magazine paid fair on the stuff. But obviously, he's got a business to run. So say the stuff's appreciated up to, $60,000 even. Mr. Magazine can't give you $40,000 because by the time he sells it all at $60,000, he'd take his fees out, he'd actually lose money on it. So if you're buying collectibles because you enjoy buying collectibles, then do it. And view it as any money you get out on the back end as a bonus. You buy the things, you display them, you get pleasure out of seeing them, you get pleasure inside out of completing a set. Whatever the case happens to be, that's wonderful. But don't do it in order to make money. And I know this is true as well. There's a set that I'm working on, and I laugh about it because I tell Mr. Magazine all the time, I say, hey, I just bought another card out of the set that I need. I'm well on my way to losing money. I understand that, but I'm getting a pleasure out of building the set. Every week I go and I buy one card out of the set, and it's running $8, $10, whatever it is. It's a graded card, maybe $12, $15, a little more for some of the stars, obviously. But I enjoy putting the set together, so I am getting enjoyment. But by the time the set's together, it's a 264 card set, 1974-75 basketball PSA graded. I saw one sold at Heritage for something like $2,500, all PSA 8 or better. So that's $9 a card, something like that with stars. $2,500 plus you pay the buyer's premium, the shipping and everything like that. But you're still talking $10, $11 each across the board, including stars. If I'm paying $15 a card to put it all together, which some of the stars I'm going to end up having to pay more, the Gervin right now is going for almost $1,000 by itself. I'm going to wait for that market to kind of calm down a little bit before I buy the Gervin, obviously. But you're still talking at $15 a card times 264, you're talking almost $4,000 that you're spending on the set that I can turn around and put in Heritage and sell for $2,500 and then give them a percentage off of that. Even if they take 25%, hey, I turned my $4,000 into $2,000. That's what a wonderful deal that was. I'm buying the set piecemeal because I enjoy the set piecemeal. I'm enjoying building the set together, and it's not like the set comes up for sale very often, and I've got better things to do with $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever to buy the set, because I would notice that purchase all at once, or if I spend $10 this week, I'm not going to notice the purchase price. But I'm doing it out of enjoyment. I'm not doing it as an investment. And I think that's very important for a lot of people to remember. Sure, you can guess right on something or other and buy something for $1 and pick and choose and sell something for $100. Hey, that's great. But if you actually are actively collecting, unless you get really, really lucky, you're going to end up losing money in the long term. And that's not even taking into account the time value of money. If this gentleman had taken the $40,000 and put it in his mattress, he'd have $40,000 and have more money than he did for building his collection. If he'd taken the $40,000 and put it in some kind of a mutual fund, since 1990, I mean, he probably would have $75, 80, 85, $90,000. Who knows how much money he'd end up having. So financially, does not make sense to collect, especially not if you're paying retail on stuff. Now, a whole different story on some of the stuff that Mr. Magazine and I do. We end up picking things up wholesale or things up as part of a collection, that sort of thing. And we're throwing that into our collection, and we really don't have very much into it. Hey, that's wonderful. But for example, on the set that I'm building or on the Spider-Man comics that Mr. Magazine is working on, long term, we're going to lose money on it. We know that going in, though, and that's the big difference. We're not counting on that for our children's college funds or anything all like that. It's a diversion. It passes the day. It's no different than people that, go on long vacations and that sort of thing. You go on a cruise, great. You come home, you got memories. I buy a bunch of cards from the set. I got, the pleasure of putting the set together, and at the end of the day, when I do sell it, I can at least get a little bit of money back, but not nearly what I put into it. But my eyes were kind of opened when I did see the ledger, and I did see what the guy paid, and again, if he took the time to sell it all on eBay, he probably would still lose money off of that $40,000 when you start taking into account fees and all of his time and all that sort of thing as well. So it's very difficult to make money with your collection. Collect because you enjoy it. So hopefully that helps you some, and put money away into mutual funds and that sort of thing, not away into Star Wars figures unless you're getting them absolutely priced right.